What's going on? Welcome back. In today's video, we're going over VIM text editor or Vim text editor. So as you know, VIM text editor is a very flexible, interactive, full screen visual text editing program. It is designed to be lightweight on resources. So that's why it's very popular among system administrators or even cybersecurity professionals. It's very interactive. At the same time, it is not heavy on compute resources. So in this video, we're going to go over the VIM and cover all of the common commands that you may need during your work. So basically, first we're going to go over the modes of operation. The first, as you can see, we have the command mode. We have the input mode and we have the last line mode. Most of the time, you will work with the command mode and the input mode. And lastly, if you want to save something or do advanced operations, you would use the last line mode. So the advanced mode used for copying, pasting, deleting, moving, replacing, and searching. Technically, the command mode by default is started when you enter the VIM. So you can just use the shortcuts to use the copy, paste, delete, and move. Now the next mode is the input mode. So here, if you want to just type text into your file, you would enter the input mode. Now after you finish input text to your file, you would want to go back to command mode to modify, delete, or paste something. You would shift from input to command mode using the escape. That's why sometimes the command mode is called the escape mode, because you can just enter the command mode with the escape. Lastly, we have the last line mode. Technically, last line mode, you can enter the last line mode by typing the colon. So when you type the colon, you enter the last line mode. Normally, last line mode is reserved or used for a special type of commands like saving, copying in bulk, or pasting in bulk. All right, so how do we start the VIM? Let me go back to my command line, and here let me exit. This is the file we're going to take as an example. Let me make it bigger. And this one. Okay, so let me quit. So we would start VIM by typing VIM and the name of the file. In my case, I have taken the file here, HTML file, and we open it. So once you hit enter, you will be in the command mode, right? So as you can see now, we can start the command mode. So first, I will start with the insert mode, since most of us will start a text editor just to type text into a file, right? So I will start with that. Let me get back to my board. So the insert mode. The insert mode is characterized or has shortcuts. We have the lowercase I, uppercase I, the A, uppercase A, lowercase o, uppercase o. So what's the use of each one of them? So basically, the lowercase and uppercase I used for entering text, but the bottom line is I enters the text before the cursor position. The uppercase I enters the text at the beginning of the current line. So what do I mean by that? Let's get back. So right now, to enter the that's not effective. Okay, to enter the insert mode, I would just type either I lowercase or I uppercase. It depends on where I want to enter my text. So this is the cursor. As you can see, I'm moving the cursor through the HTML word. If I want the text, most of the time, let's take a realistic scenario. I want to edit this file, so I will just start by moving this, the doc type, HTML, I want to move it to a new line and then start my typing. So I would enter the uppercase I because I want to insert text at the beginning of the current line. I hit enter and I can here start typing. So this is a test mode for training purposes. Okay, Now, if you want to just get out of the insert mode, you're done with your editing, you're done with your typing the text, you can just press the escape. And as you can see, we are out of the insert mode. So say you forgot to add something to your, you wanna add some word to your statement here. But this word is before, let's say, training purposes. Say I want to add something before the semicolon. So what I would do here, I would not type space. I would enter again the insert mode, but in this time, I would use something different. Let's get back. So here we have the lowercase a and uppercase a. Also, we have the O and uppercase O. So the lowercase a appends the text after the cursor position. Okay. Now, the uppercase A appends the text to the end of the current line. O opens a new line below the current line, and the uppercase O above the current line. Let's see that in action. So, say I want to add something after the S. I would enter the insert mode with lowercase a, and I would type, say, a space, and then word that has been forgotten. Now, as you can see, I entered the statement has been entered after the cursor. The cursor was here, and the statement has been entered, or the sentence has been entered after the cursor. Now, if I am finished, I will just type, as you can see, escape. Now, say I want to add text to the end of the current line. So I would escape from the insert mode and enter again with uppercase A. See now the cursor has moved to the end of the current line, and I can start here adding again. This is sentence with A. Okay. Now, say we're done with our changes, but again we want to add text, this case, to the next or to the line below the current line. So I have this line, okay? I want to add text to the line after this line, meaning that I want to add text below this line. So I need to just start a new line below the current one. So I would type, enter the insert mode with O, lowercase o. So I'm now with a new line. I can start typing. This is a new line below the previous one, and started with O. Now, if I want to open a new line, but this time above the current line. So our current line, right now, it is the second one. But let's take an example of the first one. So the first one is our previously current line. Now we can start a new line above the current one by typing or entering the insert mode with uppercase O. Now right now, as you can see, we are in the insert mode. We can't just type uppercase O. We need to exit the insert mode and go back again with uppercase O, would start a new line but above the current line. So this is a line, new line above the, or started with O. That's all about the insert mode. Easy, right? So you would enter the insert mode with the characters we have just talked about. Now, if you are in the insert mode, if you're still in the insert mode, you can just start a new line with the enter as well. And you can just delete that line with the backspace. Okay? Now, exiting the insert mode, and we go back to the board. So, something I forgot to write here is the navigation. So, let's go to new page. Do it here. So, let's talk about the navigation. So, normally, if you want to navigate within the VM editor, you would use the arrow keys. Okay, and you would use some other characters like Control, plus F, Control plus B, and you would use enter and the dollar sign. So what's the use of each one of them? Technically, you know that the arrow keys used to just move, right? Now Control F, you want to scroll down. Control B, scroll up. Enter, we illustrated that, a new line. And the dollar sign, what it does, it moves the cursor to the end of the current line. So end of current line. Let's demonstrate that. So say I want to scroll down, I would type Control F. As you can see, I'm scrolling down in bulk. To scroll back up, you just type Control B. It's very useful if you want to navigate through the file, through a large file like this one. So you would use the Control B and Control F. So this is the cursor at the T letter right now. If you want to move it to the end of the current line, type just the dollar sign. See, now I am in the end of the current line, and enter to move the cursor to the next line. Right now, let's go back to the board and talk about editing the content of the file. Okay. So we're done now with the insert mode. Now the escape mode or the command mode. So as you can see, the escape mode, we have some mess here. So we have the delete. If you want to delete something, if you want to undo changes, if you want to search and replace, and if you want to copy something, paste something. Let's talk about each one of them. So first we have the delete. So for delete, you have several shortcuts. We have the uppercase, lowercase x, uppercase x, dd. These are the common ones, but you can of course go to the VIM official website and get the list of all of the shortcuts used for the delete operation. The uppercase T, and here we have last line mode. So let's first explain these and we get back to this. So X character deletes the only one character, right? So lowercase x, uppercase x deletes only one characters. The difference is X deletes the character at the cursor position, but uppercase X deletes the character before the cursor location. Let's see what does that mean. So if you go back right now, we are in the, by default, we are in the, say again, the command mode. So if you want to delete the character at the cursor position, in this case it is H, I would type lowercase x. So as you can see, the H has been deleted. Now I'm gonna go to the insert mode and type it back. Or we can do it with the undo changes, as we will see later, but I did this with the insert mode because you have just been familiar with the insert mode, and normally if you want to undo changes, you will do some other shortcuts we will talk about. Escape from the insert mode now. As you can see, the lowercase deletes the letter at the cursor position. What if I want to delete the character before the cursor location? So say I'm H now. If I typed uppercase X, what's going to happen? See, I'm deleting the characters before the cursor. Now the space D, E, T, R, A. Very useful if you want to remove only specific letters, like that. Okay, back to the insert mode, the command mode. So let's get back to the board and see what else we have. So we have the DD. DD removes the current line, all of it. But D deletes the characters at the cursor position to the end of the current line. So it seems like confusing, right? Let's go back and demonstrate this. So right now, if I type DD, it doesn't look at the cursor, it just deletes the whole line. So dd, as you can see, removed the whole line. Now, say if I want to only delete the from. Okay, let's delete this statement or this sentence. This is a sentence with A. If I want to delete this, I would highlight, I would see the cursor position. Where is it? It's right now at the dot, right? So I would type uppercase T, which deletes at the cursor position to the end of the current line. So starting from T, typing uppercase T will remove the sentence. If you make sure the cursor at the right position, because sometimes you would move characters that you didn't want to remove in the first place. Okay, that's for delete. Something is left is, what does that mean? So semicolon or colon 15D. So this is called delete in bulk. So this would delete lines 1 through 5. Let's see that. So right now, okay, if we type column 15D, it would delete lines 1 through 5. It means that the first line is, this is test, and 3, 4, 5 here. Enter. As you can see, 5 fewer lines. We have deleted the lines. Now, I can undo the changes using the uppercase U. Okay, so as you can see, I undid the changes. I'm going to explain the undo now. Let's go back now and explain the undo. So the undo here, we have, it's very easy. So you have the only lowercase u and the uppercase u. So lowercase u undoes the previous command that you have just did. In our case, the previous command was deleting the lines 1 through 5. Now, if you type u as I did, lowercase u, it would undo this command, which means it will restore back the lines that you have just deleted. Uppercase u, it also does some kind of undo, but it undoes all changes done on the current line. So let's get back. So see here. Let's say I want to delete the whole line, right? This line. This is a test mode for training purposes word that has been forgotten. I would do that with dd, right? So it has been deleted. I want to restore it back, uppercase u, right? Lowercase u, yeah. See, I restored back the line. Now let me see what else do we have. So yes, so here let's take this one, delete here, and these ones are for the undo. Undo. Let's talk about slash string, question mark string, lowercase, uppercase, n. So you would use these for search and replace, or only search. Search for replace is to the next task. Now search, only search, you would use a slash or question mark. The difference is this is forward. It means it moves down or next, moves forward actually. The forward could be up, could be down, depending on the cursor position. But slash search forward, question mark search backward. And n is to move the cursor or find the next occurrence of the string. Slash uppercase n, find the previous occurrence of the string. These works, they work in a different way when you, depending on the position. So if you are looking for, if you are in the forward search, n here would move the cursor or find the next occurrence or take the cursor to the previous occurrence. Originally, it's used for the next occurrence, but it depends on the slash, whether you are using slash or question mark. So slash is forward, lowercase n takes it to the previous position, uppercase n takes it to the, let's demonstrate that better using the practical scenario we have. So I want to search for HTTP, for example. I would type slash, oops. So slash, as you can see now I'm typing here, slash, and type the word you want to find, HTTP. So that is the first occurrence. To find the next occurrence, type lowercase n, a second, and as you can see, this is the next occurrence. And find the next one, which is here, and we have this one, but we don't want the visual one. So this is n here, one is here, one here. As you can see, I'm moving down because this is finding the occurrence of the word HTTP at the next occurrence, not the previous one. If I want to go back, I would use uppercase n. So uppercase n is going back, as you can see. Lowercase n, forward, uppercase n, backwards. So that's it. So let's move up now. All right, let's talk about now replacing, much like if you have a notepad and you want to search for a specific string and replace it, you would use these formulas. So all the time you would start with a colon indicating that you're in the last line mode. And all the time you would start with %s, %s, /alt, /new. So the first one, without the G, here we replace the first occurrence, which is alt, with new. But here we only replace the first occurrence. For example, the word HTTP has many occurrences in the file. If I only type this formula, and instead of HTTP, I would put HTTPS, I would only replace the first occurrence. If I want to replace all of the occurrences, I would just only type, again, type /G here. Let's demonstrate that in action. So, say I want to replace the word HTTP. So I would type colon %s /HTTP, the old one /HTTPS, and replace it. So if I go up now, again I'm going down. Okay. As you can see, I replaced the first occurrence of the HTTP with HTTPS. The first one was HTTP. But as you can see, the next one is HTTP because in all the document, the protocol is HTTP. I only replaced the first one. So let's say I want to replace all of the occurrences, meaning that I don't want to see HTTP in the document. So I would type colon %s /HTTP /HTTPS /G. So right now, if I go up, go back up, and if I search for only HTTP, so I would type /HTTP. See, there is no HTTP, as I can see, only H. There is no occurrence of HTTP, only HTTPS. As you can see, I just misspelled the word, which is not good. Okay, let's check on the, go up. Now they are all, as you can see, HTTPS. One more time, HTTPSS to HTTPS. Replace all of the misspellings. Misspellings are not good. Okay, go up. So all good now. All right, let's now talk about copying. So we finished with the modes: insert mode, navigation, escape mode, delete, search, undo, replace. Right now, let's talk about the copy. So most of the time, you would copy an entire line and replace it with another line. So for example, you would use the YY here, YY, yanks, or the word is yank, but the meaning is copying, is the same. So yanks the current line, meaning that copying the current line. YW yanks or copies the current word. Here yanks the letter. As you can see, it's indicated from the letters. Word, letter. Let's see here. So show my desktop. So where we are right now, this is a test mode. Now let's say I want to copy the current letter, which is T. So YL. So I copy it now. If I want to paste the data below the current line, I would type P. No, that's not what I wanted. So again, YL, still on the first line. Okay, let's undo the changes. YW, it should copy, actually it has copied the letter, but it didn't copy it, didn't paste it to the next line. We're going to talk about pasting after we finish with copying. Now, if I want to copy a word, I would use the YW. So YW, let's try to paste one letter only. Undo. Okay. If you want to copy the entire line, YY, and if you want to paste it back, just type P. So as you can see, it has been copied and pasted. P again, undo with U. Okay. If you want to paste it above the current line, use the uppercase P, as you can see here. Going back. So copy with Y and paste with P. So the difference is in P lowercase and P uppercase. P uppercase paste above the current line, above the current line. But lowercase p below. All right, so what are these? What is this one? What is this one, by the way? Now, 13C07. So as you can see, it copies lines 1 through 3 and pastes them after line 7. So, for example, let's go back. If I want to copy, in my case, I want to copy the first 2 lines and paste them after line, say, 3. So what I would do here, the column, define the first 2 lines, and then copy, and then define the line number that after which the stuff that I have copied will be pasted. In this case, it will be line 3. As you can see, they have been copied after line 3. Now, let's see what we have else. This is an example. These are semicolons, by the way, columns. So the same concept here, but the difference is if you want to copy through lines, you would use the CO. If you want to move, you would use the M. much like CP and MV commands. Here you are moving the entire lines. Here you are only copying. Let's demonstrate that an example. So I want to move, let's undo the changes. I want to move these two lines to be under the doc type HTML. So what I would do here, I would type this column, define the two lines, and then the move operation, and then the line number after which the new statements or sentences will be moved. So in this case, it's L. As you can see, we have moved them successfully. Now, lastly, I want to talk about saving your changes. So if you want to save changes or quitting the VIM text editor, we have two options: quitting with saving or quitting without saving. So quitting, if I want only to save changes, I would type write. This save changes without quitting. Enter, changes have been saved. If I want to write changes and quit, I would type write and quit. Back to the file. If you want to write the changes to a new file name, let's say here, updated version, today's date is 19/04/2021. Now, quit without, if you want to quit without changes, without saving the changes, you can type Q and exclamation mark. But still, the changes have been made. As you can see, this is a new file. So that's it with VIM text editor. I hope you enjoyed this explanation. I tried to be brief as much as I can. Of course, the shortcuts are way more than the shortcuts I have just outlined. I just tried to outline the shortcuts that are more common or more commonly used. So that was for today. I hope you like this and see you in the next video.